On to another kind of contentious issue of schools. Again, a bit of background for you. There is a need for primary school places in the area. No one's arguing that. There is an argument about the need for secondary school places. Camden is under obligation to provide school places for everyone in the borough. There is, however, an application that's just gone in for a free school, a primary and secondary free school in the area. There's a question about where it will be, how big it will be, and lots of other issues, and issues about which parties are supporting it. The question, therefore, simply is, how would your party ensure sufficient school places for all children in these two wards? I started with Conservatives last time, so sorry, Andrew, I'm going to start with John this time.
Good evening, everyone. Many colleagues in the room will probably already understand that there is a proposal currently still live to use the Little Road site, which some people may not know is just off Maygrove Road, which is a business park at the moment, as a site for a expanded primary school. Part of that plan is to destroy around 200 jobs. Our Labour colleague was saying they're trying to expand jobs. No, they're not. They're actually trying to remove all the businesses off Little Road. They're also going to try and expand Kingsgate Primary School, very good school, Kilburn, and then make all the parents trundle their children up West End Lane through the peak period, the infant children, to have them at the Little Road site, and then send the junior school kids back to Kingsgate Primary School, and it's about a mile apart. We think that for educational reasons is wrong. You do not put in a deliberate transition at the age of 7 for pupils to go to a different school. Across London, when we've had infant and junior schools in different sites, all the trend has been to try and bring them together on one site. And here we have a Labour council trying to split up the school and send children to different levels at different places. And the Little Roads proposals, as they stand at the moment, are due to make a profit for the council, because it would be funded by a lot of private housing with no social housing at all. There's not the 50% in that scheme at all, as was promised by the Labour colleague here. And indeed, the decision to proceed with that, to make a profit on that, was then followed by the coalition government giving the council £6 million to build a school. Did they change the plans to introduce some social housing or to introduce a bit more of the business park afterwards? No. They're going to make £9 million profit and then spend that money somewhere else in the borough. Well, that is the Labour Party for you.
Thank you, John. Andrew, have you got hand up?
We are also completely against Little Road as a site for a school. It will lose 200 jobs, and there are other appropriate sites for a school in West Hampstead. But I want to talk about more generally the need for a new secondary school in the area. We have a very clear manifesto commitment that we will support a new secondary school in West Hampstead. And we're also nationally the party that supports free schools, and we see no reason why in principle you can't have a new free school in West Hampstead. Now, there's been lots of debate about whether there's an immediate need for secondary school places. The reality is that we're going to have 1,000 new homes in this area over the next few years. And also, I think it's common ground that there's a shortage of primary school places. So for us, the debate isn't really, do we need a new secondary school? It's when we need that secondary school. And free schools give massive advantages for parents. It gives you choice. It gives you the opportunity to set up a school with a different form of curriculum, with its own rules. And for us, choice is a key advantage. That said, I think it's very important that any free school or any new school in this area has strong and effective governance, and that's the same for any school. It's also key to remember that we can have these debates about what kind of school we have, academies, free schools, local authority schools. At the end of the day, and having been a teacher myself, I've got some experience of this, what it comes down to is just having a good teacher in front of the class, whether that's in a free school, an academy, or a local authority school. And the Conservatives nationally have done a lot of work to improve good quality people coming into teaching and improving the quality of teaching nationwide. And I think since the Conservatives came into power, 250,000 pupils have gone out of failing schools into good schools. So that's our commitment for education in West Hampstead.
Thank you, Andrew. Green or Labour? So Green first, Labour second. Layla.
Hi everybody. For the Green Party, I think, yes, absolutely, we do support the free schools. However, there's an accountability issue in the free schools that we're sort of trying to process at the moment, which means there needs to be critical thinking and critical teaching in these schools. What we would say for the future for people in Fortune Green, there is enough expertise, professional people to create communities of practice to build those schools upon, and that's what I personally believe is the future of education in the area, and is to build upon the fact that people already have a very expertise in their area. So, thank you.
Thank you. Labour, Richard.
Thank you. As someone whose child was educated in Fortune Green Ward, first at Beckford and then at Hampstead. Right. As someone whose child was educated in Fortune Green Ward, first at Beckford Primary and then at Hampstead Secondary, just in recent years, education is a subject that's personally close to my heart, and I'm sure it is to Phil as well, whose children went to Hampstead too. What we're looking for is a sensible approach to how you provide school places. Yes, there does seem to be a rare consensus that there's a need for primary school places in this area. And I would commend Labour's proposal for Little Road. It's a robust proposal, supported by the head teacher, and we often hear that we should let teachers get on with it and so on, so we could at least begin with perhaps respecting the position of the leadership of that school, an outstanding school. It has a robust funding stream. The Liberal Democrats might not like it, but they cannot deny that the money is available to fund it. It has a site, not just a website, and it will work. As regards secondary school places, there is as yet no robust statistical evidence to show that there is a need for not just a free school in this area, but yet another one. Because there's 3 planned for Brent. There's a temporary one in NW6. And it will do no one any favours to have another free school that will end up unsubscribed, like 38% of them that the Public Accounts Committee identified, leading to spare capacity in all the free schools and the undermining of a good, improving secondary in Hampstead. And I would have thought that at least the Liberal Democrats would take some heed from their own national president, who today has said it's about time that local authorities should be given precedence over free schools in the provision of where places are needed. And people who are campaigning for a free school should be asking themselves, how soon will it be before they get left high and dry by the Liberal Democrats?
Thank you very much. I suspect schools will come up in questions from the audience as well. Magnus, Dave, do you want to add something? You have a view on free schools? Schools generally?
Schools generally, I mean, I can see the importance of primary education, which I think is a very much neglected area. And if you don't get the beginnings right, if you don't put the foundations down correctly, then the rest of the structure isn't going to stand up. And I think that is really the fundamental problem with the educational system in this country. I could talk at great length. As I've told you, I'm a private tutor. That's how I make my money. I go and teach the children of a very rich Russian oligarch. And I teach them English language, and I teach them spelling and punctuation and grammar, and they love it, and their parents love it because they know that's what going to make them successful. And people say, well, why don't you teach the disadvantaged and the poor? And I would love to do that too, but I'm not the sort of person that fits into the conventional educational system. So I have to be content with what I have, the situation which I'm in. This is how I make my money. But I am interested in quality in education, and that's something I will be very interested to pursue when I become councillor.
Thank you. And finally, Dave.
The local development forums actually said with the increasing population over the next 20 years, this area is going to need 2 to 3 new primary schools. At the moment, we're low on funding. But we need to be planning for the future as well as planning for now. If we're going to need more primary schools, that means we're going to need more secondary schools. Do we wait Do we wait till we've got even less money, or do we plan for the future? I personally say we need to plan for the future. We need to, even if the buildings have redundancies for now, can those redundancies be used for other purposes? That's it. Thank you.